Now, this was funny, man, because it's just like competitive battle between like heavyweight champions of there, or the great lightweight fight. This is between Kanye West and Just Blaze. Now, see, with Just is one of them type of dudes that it comes to him naturally. Like, he'll sit around all day, play video games, and then in the middle of it, stop, go back, work on the track. And you'd be like, how's he? Man, we need to be working on this song. What's going on with Blaze? And he'll go back to playing the video game, stop, go back, fix the track, and he'd be like, alright, Jack, just let me see what you got, man. Dress will put the track on when he's finished, and it's a monster. And you go, what? This dude was playing video games like 8-9 hours ago. Just on the games. Like, when did you have time to make this monster? And it's all from him. Just Blaze is a monster. And at this time, because I first heard of him from Benny Siegel album, that Who Won What on the Truth album. But come to find out, he'd been around since Harlem World, when he was co-producing tracks. And then he had did the Killer Priest joint, did a lot of underground joints. He did a Mill song, then he did Big Pun. And Jay was like watching it, listening. And after all this, they was like, man, this dude got so much hot stuff, we need to incorporate him into what we doing full time. Like, he's our guy. So he was with Rockefeller, and that was it. You know, it was like, look, you Rockefeller, and the Dynasty album was basically all Just Blaze. And Soon You Understand, he did the intro, Streets is Talking, Stick to the Script, the ROC song. He did like 5-6 tracks on the album. A lot of people hate that album. I'm not a big fan of the album, like Pop for Rock and all those other songs. I just didn't really care for the beats, a lot of them. The era had changed, and people had ran out of those ridiculous sounding beats. You know, just all that crazy like techno sound beats was phasing out. So he went back to like the Memphis Bleak album. He did the Understanding, and then he did my song We Get Low. And that's the song that got Bleak in trouble and made people pay attention. Like, We Get Low, he signed with us. Well, anyway, when all this is going on, Kanye had just came in the fold during the Dynasty era. You know, because when he came around, Dynasty was like, they was going to put him on it with Cam, and Cam had all these tracks. And they were like, man, put him on with, you know, y'all with Cam. And he had all these tracks, and he was finna get those to, you know, to Cameron. Because Cam, like, those were like Cam type beats. He wrote those mostly in mind for like Beanie Siegel or Ghostface or anybody like that, you know, like those guys in mind, because they rap to mostly soul tracks. Well, Ghostface do. And Beans would sound rough. He was like, man, Beans would probably murder something like this. So when Kanye came in with these tapes, and he had like all these beats in there, Heart of the City, you know, all his tracks that ended up becoming smash. And he had songs that was on his album that ended up being on Kanye's. that they didn't use. And they, woo, this kid here he for real. So he did that. He had that It Can't Be Life. They took one of the tracks and used that for Jay. They was like, man, Jay wanted to do your record. And, it was like a big deal, So he was like, all right. And Jay dropped his verse. And then Jay was like, so how you like the verse? And it really wasn't outstanding because the verse wasn't, but it was okay. That I was born in sewage, born to make rap music. He was more introspective Jay. So, anyway, with him getting all this buzz and woo, woo, so everybody's like, man. So, a lot of drama started, not like with Just and them. Just is like salty. Like, man, y'all was when he went to Cam and them, like, so y'all was just gonna let this dude do your whole album? Like, wow, that's cool. All right, because they wasn't really signed yet, but Dame had a relationship with Camden, and he was trying to put them into work. So he was always talking about bringing them into the fold. So Just Blaze did The Reason, the whole album. Like, everything was Just Blaze. Then things started to shift. Benny album didn't take off. Jada album almost went platinum. He did one track on Jada's. And it's time for the Blueprint album. Hip hop came and said, yo, this Just Blaze. So him and Just is cool, like no problem. But now when they getting ready to do tracks for the Blueprint, Kanye's kind of listening to the songs and was like, what? Because he had the track already done for, which ended up being called The Takeover. And the song from The Doors, that was just crazy. So with Kanye getting all this love, Just Blaze sound changed. And it was like, whoa, did Kanye do this? And Just was like, nah, I did it. And they used him. Like, this is just dope. Jay was, oh man, this is, man, Just, I never heard you make tracks like this. I never heard you really, man, I made soulful beats before, man, you just ain't told me that's what you like, man. I got all this stuff in the vault, man. All his songs were sounding like Kanye's. Girls, Girls, Girls. You probably thought Kanye made that. Songs, Cry, Lyrical Exercise. Well, that was, what's his name, track, Cormega. And then they ended up using it because Def Jam bought them, so they was able to sneak the song on the album Breathe Easy. But that was actually Cormega's song. And then you don't know what you're doing. Yep. All of those was all of those songs belong to Just Blaze. So, when the album got praised, people were thanking Kanye West for a lot of work that what's his name was getting. That dude was going. I'm sorry. I'm so tired today. After this, it was controversy because Jay had recorded two versions to Girls, Girls, Girls. And he put one as a bonus track, and that was the one he did with Kanye. But I'll always like that version. It was more gritty, and the sample I love. Just trying girls out. Just trying girls out till I find the one for me. Man, he was killing that sample. So that was the Trying Girls Out by the Persuaders. They made that track originally. But Kanye, y'all know he did Never Change, Heart of the City, besides the Takeover, and he did H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. So with those in his bag, all the other songs, they thought the whole album belonged to Kanye. And Kanye was pissed when somebody was like, man, you killed that. I like that song's Cry. You know, that's my, yeah, he was like, man, you make that yeah, Kanye was salty. He came back and it's the imposters. That's what he called anybody trying to like sound like man, go back and look at Dude history. Do Dude make songs like that? No. I come along and I make these tracks and all of a sudden he's a soulful guy. Damn imposters, man. So he was salty with Blaze for a minute. Oh man. But they end up working it out, but that's where the situation streamed from. So the Black Album came along and everybody was getting ready to do their part. You know, that's like, okay, did I skip an album? Oh yeah, I skipped the Nightmare album, the double CD, The Gift and the Curse. Woo wee, the bomb. My favorite song on the album was produced by Just Blaze, and that's Hovey Baby. Woo, that was fire to me. The problem with this, too many producers. When you have too many producers on an album, the song and the album and its direction is too many songs from too many different directors. I mean, too many different outlets. And once that started happening, it was over. Because by the time Blueprint 2, the Bomb album came, Just Blaze had relinquished a lot of his control of the album over to Jay, and they was gonna get Kanye like 1 or 2 tracks, but Just had a great track record with him. And what people don't know is that the album got changed due to the beef with Jaz-O. Anytime he referenced Jaz-O, those songs, he didn't want them on the album, and then most of the songs got leaked. So he just took all those off, and then he just used them as bonus songs to make it a double CD. Because first, Jay didn't want to do a double CD. Never wanted to do it. He just wanted to do one record. He was like, no, if you do a double CD, it'll count as 2 records. So that way you be obligating your contract. And he was, oh, okay. So when the Black Album came out, Kanye and Just Blaze, they were like barely like communicating with one another. You know, Ye was more concerned about his album coming out. He's super excited. You know, he's got a deal. He's working on his thing, and Jay is more trusting of what Kanye is saying, because Kanye has vision, but he's, and you know, just thinking like he's kind of losing respect as Jay being a superior, and you know, he's thinking more like we equals, and Jay is the one that's in charge, basically. So, but the way Kanye speaks to Jay is the way Kanye needs to, because he comes at it as a perspective of a rapper. When he's getting ready to approach the track, he helps Jay find the zone where Jay needs to be, which is because Jay's working half. When somebody comes in there and tells you what the hook is and the direction, you can write to that. So he's more valuable to Jay than what Just is. Just is just gonna make beats. That's it. He can't tell you what the hook should be, what it should go on there. He know to make a dope beat. And then all his beats now, whenever he gets to a Jay-Z album now, he's trying to make a song or a track that sound more like Kanye. Like December 4th, you would think is a Kanye record. Or, you know, the interlude is whatever, but December 4th sound more like that. So more of the duties that would usually be given to Just Blaze was once again expanded through a lot of different, you know, like everybody was getting like 2 tracks, including Just. And he wasn't too happy about that. But he's like, this is my last album, so I want Rick Rubin on it, you know. Jay was like, I'm going to get a Neptunes 2, Kanye getting 2, you know, Eminem going to produce 1, you know, he wanted to spread it out, but he wanted to keep it shorter. And in its perspective. So, but oh yeah, Blaze threw down on public service announcement. So Blaze is a great like beat maker. He's a GOAT. I ain't gonna tell you he ain't. But that's what the whole beef consisted of. Competition with Kanye to stay afloat. That evaporated, of course, after College Dropout, but they had a riff because once Kanye did the song with Coldplay, y'all know the rest. So, and then he started looking at, what's his name? Like, I told you about Kanye. Told you about Kanye. Told you how he was. You need to just stay here with me. Let me do my thing. Trust and Just Blaze. So, Kanye did 1 track with John Legend on the album that ended up being one of the worst albums in Jay-Z's career. And we saw who was in control of this album. Because it wasn't Kanye. Jay wasn't really messing with Kanye at the time. Kind of cut him out. He gave him 1 track on the album that he used. But they weren't really like speaking in that sense. When Jay came back, Just Blaze is up there. He got Show Me What You Got. He got Kingdom Come. He got Oh My God. He got Dr. Dre and them did Lost Ones, which was the best track they made. But Dre got like 4 beats on there. And from that point, you know, it went to a point where they said, okay, alright, I made a huge mistake. My career is done. I gotta restart and hit the reset button. I'm done. If I'm gonna come back and have a career in this game, I gotta change everything. So Puffy came back into the fold. And he had all these beats that he had for Big. And he went back to them. The Hello Brooklyn with Lil Wayne and that American Gangster saved him. Because if he'd have went out, he'd have been like, oh, that's just a soundtrack. That wasn't really my album. So it gave him momentum to come back with Blueprint 3. Which a lot of people don't realize was a nice album. But it showed him, Jay, that I gotta go with Ye and I gotta get rid of Just Blaze. And that's what happened. Blaze is out. For the first time in a long time, Blaze had nothing to do with a Jay-Z album. It was No ID and Kanye West show mixed in with Timbaland, Swiss, but they got to play along with Jay's album. And when they did Empire State of Mind, you know, the people that produced that, Jay-Z's biggest record, Run This Town with Rihanna and Kanye, you know, and Kanye had No ID basically credited for all those beats. But it was the Kanye West show from here on out. So that's how the beef was played out. That's what happened. That's how it was. The West was won. So it was just a battle of competition between two giants. And when Kanye became Kanye West, and he was at that time bigger than Jay, Jay had to step in his ego and say, okay, this dude is my equal. I need him to work with me, and let's get these tracks out here with DOA and everything else. So, you know, Kanye was not at that point the one that could be bartered.